There we go. Okay, here we go again. Good morning, everybody. That was looking good. And now it's not looking good. Oh, well. What can I say? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do something here. Like this. Oh. Hey, just change things up a little bit. There we go. I made a little adjustment in the software. So good morning, Sunday morning. Going on 9:30. I had a few long days this next few days, couple of days, very lengthy. I did a lot of filming, and so I'm going to be working on getting that stuff out. And I got a meeting on Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that takes me. So this is Sunday morning. This is the morning that in recent history of the human have set aside to be their day of worship, whatever. So I get up this morning. Well, I move slow. Today I move slow. Sometimes I get up, I'm very industrious. Last couple of days, my morning started a little bit slow. Just didn't feel like kicking it in high gear like I normally do. So I get up this morning with on my feed of my timeline, the news of a famous girl that got killed in a car wreck. I'd never heard of this girl. I've heard of her father, and I've heard of one of her brothers, I guess, but her name I didn't know she existed. So I read the story about what happened to this girl. Last day or two this happened, and it looks pretty clear, and they're investigating it, but it looks like distracted driving. And I go back, and I make a lot of analogies. I mean, clearly, you grow up, and there's a name that you're familiar with, and somebody loses their life. Like a lot of musicians that you grew up listening to their music or whatever. They're kind of part of your culture and whatnot. You do take note, and it's like, ooh, I'm getting older. All these people that entertained me throughout my life are now gone. But why do we make one person's situation more important than another person's situation? Why do we give note to people of fame and fortune? We kind of put these people on a pedestal, don't we? In the way we deal with them continually. Their circumstances in life, things, they're all human. I watched a video the other day on YouTube of you probably never recognized him, but they had a string of hits back in the 70s, and you recognize the songs, but you probably would not have recognized the guy that actually sang the songs in the band, especially as he got older. And in the comment section of this video was somebody like, "Damn, somebody needs to put a mirror in his face," because he got old. In his 70s, you get old, and that's it. Your money and fame does not make you immune to life. I'm sorry. I can think of all these famous people throughout my life that gained real quick fame and fortune, and their lives cut short because they're human, because they have this talent. I grew up around entertainers, and my mother's side of the family were some very well-known entertainers. I grew up in that kind of in the outskirts of that realm because I never got that talent, nor was I ever well known. But and I kind of like, these people are real. They're people. They're no different because they have certain talents. They're like, I can sing, or I'm good looking. A lot of people make it because of their looks, and that sort of thing. And we idolize not even recognizing how much we idolize wealth. This is one reason that I say Donald Trump became president, because of his fame and his wealth. Because if anybody had really studied and paid attention to his life and what he'd done throughout his life, they wouldn't have been as impressed. They really wouldn't. But because of his wealth, he's got this Trump airplane, he's a billionaire, he's got, oh yes, they went for it without knowing much about it, except his self-promoting stuff. He's good out there. People don't stop and think about what they have. To put one life is more important than another. So back to the car accident that took the life of the daughter of a famous entertainer. I read the article. It seems, and I wasn't there, don't know, but just on the surface, it seems like distracted driving, possibly texting and driving. 26, 27 years old, young, starting their lives out. Cute girl. In my realm, I'd never heard. Clearly, I'd heard of her dad, and I've heard of one of her brothers, but I never knew she existed. But her dad's fame, the name, and so forth, did nothing at all to make her immune to basic life things. That's it. It doesn't make any difference. So life is snuffed out. By reading the story, I would bet money that it was distracted driving, possibly texting and driving, or some distraction, holding something like this or whatever. It sounds that way. One car and the vehicle crossed lanes and turned over, and the husband and father, and I don't think the report even spoke about the two the kids. Maybe they weren't in the vehicle, but the vehicle rolled over, and the mother of those two kids, the daughter of the famous entertainer, I'm not mentioning names because it's not important. She was, I guess, killed instantly, and the husband, last report, was alive but in very critical condition, all because of a split-second decision. Whether it was distracted driving, whether it was texting and driving, whatever created that distraction, cost bad. And so I immediately it's like, well, this happens a lot. I see people text and drive. I see distracted driving. I see cops distracted driving. Cops doing horrible driving habits. I see it all the time. And that's why I tell people laws are a joke. Laws just give room to fine people, to punish people. They don't stop anything. It just doesn't. If the enforcers of the law are no more good at obeying the law than the rest of the people, it just doesn't happen. But there are, across the nation, some 9 people that die every day in an automobile accident of some sort that had the accident was caused by some form of distracted driving, whether it be texting, whether it be whatever. It happens every day, 9. But we pay attention to this one person. But this, and hundreds are injured daily because of this distracted driving. So, not demeaning anybody. Any life is important, but we seem to focus in on certain lives as if their life in some way was more important than these 8 others. And that's our fault. That is 100% our fault. I know, like I said, I grew up around a lot of some well-known entertainers in my younger days, and it wasn't like they understood one thing, that without the fans, they wouldn't have their careers. But it was a double-edged sword because they couldn't have any public privacy. They couldn't walk through an airport. Oh, can I get a picture with you? Can you sign this? And that gets to be a nuisance. So it's not like these people want to have to live an abnormal life. People like Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson never had what we call a real normal life in most of and some people would say that their fame and fortune is ultimately what killed them. The Bible says that God is no respecter of men. And that's interpreted to mean that God does not look at the outside. He does not look at, and if you study Jesus wasn't into the upper crust, the well-known, the famous. Jesus wasn't hanging around the politicians like the clergy of today do. They want to say, oh, yes, I go to church with Senator Bob and Governor Smith. They like to drop names like that. So anyway, who's more important than anybody else? That's what it comes down to. We tend to focus on a certain realm of people. I mean, it's like because the name's well known, or because they were entertainer. So there was this entertainer that used to be part of this rock band from years ago that got old and was doing an interview, and people are commenting, "Oh, he looks like shit." It's like, if you're lucky, you're gonna live old enough to look like shit one day too. We are so fucking superficial. This is the problem with our religion. It's the problem with the way we interpret our gods. This is the problem from A to Z. We're so superficial. You don't see any other species on this planet staring in the mirror. Is my hair in place? Certainly, yes. An animal will groom itself as far as cleaning and that sort of thing. But they don't. It's like, oh, does this color look good with that color? How does this look with my skin tone? And that sort of thing. But we've grown into this egomaniac, superficial viewpoint toward life, and we expend so much of our energy on this. And it's a $1 trillion business. Makeup, hairstyle, coronavirus, the lockdown. Oh, I can't get my hair cut. I can't get my pedicure, my manicure, my nails. We make careers out of this bullshit. My last wedding I did was a doctor whose entire career, and makes young doctor making phenomenal amounts of money to live in $1 million home at his age. And his career is based on Botox and stuff like that. Keep the wrinkles away. That's how focused we are on aesthetics. That's how focused, I got neighbors that expend great money getting these lawn service companies. I just live in a middle class freaking neighborhood here, and they're fertilizing their grass, and they're doing this and they're doing that. These big trucks come in and roll out these hoses for these little bitty plots of land because we're superficial. It always got me that these people get so intensely upset about debating the words "one nation under God," as if those words meant a fucking thing. Really, one nation under God is the debate you want to have. That's what you want to defend. Think about it. Really, is that what it takes to appease your God? Really, that's what it takes to appease your God, putting some words in a pledge to a cloth. That's it, because you're superficial. I'm not saying to disrespect the cloth represents something. I get all that. But make this whole this hoopla about a piece of fucking cloth. And that's what did God create the United States? No. Did God create the Baptists? No. Did God create the Methodists? No. These are all man-made things. These are all human-made, designed things. The American flag was designed by a Homo sapien. The United States of America was founded by Homo sapiens, not by any God. God, if you look at the foundation of this nation, you'll soon realize, God backed that crap up. Nothing that is worthy of being called a God backed that crap up. That'd be more than insane that any loving, benevolent God would back up what man did to the indigenous people of this land, that man did to the women, man did to blacks, to minorities. It's still going on today. We've got what I call cop worshipers. Never in my life. We showed respect to police, but it's got down to cop worshipers now. These people defend cops no matter what. They're cop worshipers. That's it. They're flag worshipers and they're cop worshipers. And they're too blind to see what they're doing. It's this fake sense of some called patriotism. They want to call everybody else a snowflake. They want to call everybody else brainwashed. You're the ones that's brainwashed. They got a GoFundMe thing out now because they want to clean up and restore statues. Who gives a fuck about a statue? We got human lives at stake, and these people are consumed over statues. Tear them all down. I don't care. And some of these same people that are into that preserve the statues and the history. Where were you when they broke down the statue of Saddam Hussein in Iraq? That was part of Iraq's history. Why didn't you defend? No. That's part of their history. Preserve that. We learn from the history. We want to keep Saddam there because we want to learn from that experience. No, you weren't there. You were there. Yeah, tear it down. And you know you were. Because you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a two-faced bitch hypocrite. Yeah, I saw that shit. I'm not going to lie. I defend that. I block the fucking person that supports that shit. I ain't got time for that bullshit. Lives are at stake. You want to raise money for something? Why don't you raise money for health care? Why don't you raise money to educate people, not by statues? God. And there's nothing, it's like a few years ago, it was the Confederate flag. That's our heritage. They got upset. Man, somebody sold a shitload of Confederate flags because they got the false narrative that the flags were being banned. Nobody banned the flag. The only banning was in government buildings. It's like, we feel it's inappropriate to fly this flag on our state capitol, on government property, because we represent everybody. You can have the Nazi flag on your truck or in your home or in your front yard. There's no law against that at all. Probably not the best thing to do, but that's your choice. And you can still fly. You can have the Confederate flag, the Nazi flag, the American flag. You can have all the flags you want. We have a free country, but there are things that the government should not be involved in. Like religion is another one. Prayer in school. You can pray in school all day. They do pray. Go around any of these high schools when the schools are open. 7:30 in the morning. You get 20, 30 kids standing around a fucking flagpole holding hands praying. Why? Because it's for show. It's for show. They belong to this clique, this prayer clique. And they don't even read the fucking book they call the Bible. The Ten Commandments is another superficial bullshit thing. Are you a Jew? Are you a Jew? That's written for the Jews. Jesus came along with another set of things based on principle, not by law. The law's failed. You ever read the book? You want a set of law or a set of principle? It should be written on your heart, not on some fucking whatever. It should be written right here. See, everybody does things for show. Everything that these people fight for is for show. Because it's superficial. Why do you want one nation under God? Those words used because no. Why do you want the Statue of Confederacy on a government thing? Because it's power tripping for show. Open up a fucking museum. You can have all the Confederate shit you want to in it. Nobody's going to shut you down. Open up your private park. Put all the Confederate shit you want. Nobody's going to shut you down. It's not against the law. You can have all the Confederate crap you want on your property. Do that. If that's what you want, do it. You know, we got some idiot between here and Montgomery. Got a painting of a devil. The devil is going to get you if you don't go to church. Nobody's going to shut him down. Why? Because it's a free country. We're just not going to put it involved with the government. We're going to get it off of government property. I, as in my realm, don't want to have to look at that shit when I go deal with my government. That's it. If I'm a Hindu, I don't have to look at your 10 commandments, those Jewish commandments, when I go to a court or when I go to take care of my business with my government. That is it. But you can paint your house in the 10 commandments, all 613 of them. You can paint your house with the Beatitudes. You can paint your house with the Aleister Crowley writings. It's a free country. Where do you people miss this crap? Where do you people get off and thinking just because private? And I've got a right. People get upset. Walmart their guns at their stores. Walmart's got a right to stop selling anything they want to sell, don't they? It's a free country. I know people that long before tobacco became an issue because their religious beliefs would not allow them to smoke, if they owned a little grocery store, they would not sell tobacco. Tobacco is legal, but there's no law that requires me to sell tobacco. God. Wake up, people. Understand that just because you want to take away freedom from a business. One instance, it's like you're forcing them to serve a cake to a gay couple. Oh, you'll go to Supreme Court with that bullshit. But then you'll holler when somebody says, I don't want that in my store. You just want it your way. You don't want to be fair. You don't want to be equitable. You don't really believe in freedom. You just want under your terms, totally. So what and who is more important than anyone else? Because this one has a name? Are they related to somebody? I'm related to people. They're all dead now. I can name drop all day. What good does it do me? Oh, yes, and I've done it before. You know, a conversation, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't hardly ever do that. It's like, for what purpose does it serve? Because when you do stuff like that, you're putting one person as more important on this planet than another. That's what it boils down to. One person becomes more important. So every day of the week, some 9 people get killed due to distracted driving on our roads. More than that are killed on our roads in just this country every day for every reason. But we focus on idolizing, putting this person's life above somebody else's. Now, sometimes you can use that effectively to wake people up. In that case, I can't argue. It's like if that's what it takes to wake people up, say don't do distracted driving. Don't pay attention to your driving. Don't tailgate. That's not going to happen. I don't see it happening. Because I travel just like yesterday. Went down to Selma, and people tailgate. They do stupid shit all day long. They're impatient. I'll be doing, speed limit is 60. I'll be at 63. And people riding my ass and flying around me on a 2-lane road like I was sitting still. Laws are ineffective. If laws were effective, and I'll say it again and again and again, there'd be no murders. There'd be no crime. We got laws against all that. We've had laws against all that. What's the purpose of making new laws? It's not to stop anything. It's easy to say, we're going to pass this law, and if you violate that law, we're going to throw you in jail. See, that's the easy thing to do. The hard thing to do is say, Come, let me educate you. Let's gain understanding. Let me mentor you. Oh, that's the job right there, isn't it? To actually take time to spend with another human being to motivate them for a different behavior. We don't do that because that is an expenditure of energy and time and money that has no financial profit to it. But if we gather around our legislative bodies and we create a new law, well, number one, it works into this people that were lobbying you for this law, so you get their votes. Vote for me. And then it funds the system because it's like, here's another cop, the power to write another ticket to raise more revenue. Even if you go to court and fight it, you need a lawyer, you're enabling a judge, you're supporting the system, you're empowering the system because laws do not stop it. All right, folks, there's my little Sunday morning rant. The day of the sun. Pardon me. I'll talk later. Allergies.